Ba, 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 ba. Hello, everyone. I'm just setting myself up to go live, and I haven't even got my pop up chat open. That's how badly unprepared I am at this moment in time. I was trying to get my screen up. You can see the squiggly line just over there. I was just trying to get my Remarkable working. The camera wasn't working, the microphone wasn't working, the Remarkable wasn't working, the wires. I was going, what's going on here? I've just rebooted my machine, but hey, we are now live. For those of you that have been following or keeping up to date with everything that we kind of try and do here, version 3 of the WebP converter comes out tomorrow, and it's actually had a bit of a name change, which you'll get it. In fact, I think I revealed it already. It's called Pix Refiner. So Pix Refiner. So it's coming out tomorrow. I wasn't planning to do a version 3, if I'm honest, but then there was all this talk about the whole, AVIF format. So that converter is now part of it. So I've changed the name from WebP Converter to Pix Refiner. I think Pix Refiner sounds really good. Hey, Pixstar, Friendly Girl, Beatrice, how you all doing? Mohammed Aslan, hope you're okay. And Chris, of course, all the way from Bangkok. I like to think he's talking about the location, and I'm sure he is. So yeah, the AVIF version comes out tomorrow, but that's not all. There are some extra bits added as well, which I think you're going to love. These are things that you would get as part of other plugins as well. So now you also have the facility to export. That comes out. So you can export your media library. Some people aren't thinking about backups, and I'm like, you need to think about your backups so you can export all your media before or after, whenever you want. Basically, you can export everything into a zipped folder that you can then download, and it will instantly be downloaded, by the way. So when you hit it, it doesn't expect you to click download. You click it and it will export it to your downloads folder. Viviana from Hoi An, Vietnam, how you doing? Hope you're okay. What you also get is the stop the auto conversion. So when you upload an image, you can actually disable auto conversion, so nothing will actually happen when you upload. So there's that as well. And there was something else. It's gone out of my head now. There was the export, the stop the auto conversion. Oh God, there was something else. It's gone out of my head now. There's the no, that's it. They're the main ones. They're the oh yes, and the other big thing is the rollback, right? So what is the rollback? If you are converting, whether it's an auto conversion or a when you're running it on legacy images, if the conversion fails because of the image or something on your server or whatever, the process, what it was doing is it would sometimes still go over to delete your PNG or JPEG. Now it won't do that. So if you've got like 5 images and 3 of them convert, but 2 of them don't, it preserves them. Whether you say preserve original or not, because that was a feature we added in version 2.1, now it will roll it back for those images. Hey, China Rock, hope you're okay. So quite frankly, I've tried to cover off a lot of things and bases that some people were asking for. Hey, Pancho, Media, China Rock, Sam Turner, how you doing? TKV, Creator Graphics, how you doing? I want to know how to check which resources are being heavily used on my WordPress site and how to clean them up. Well, okay, look. When it comes to checking resources, what you can start to identify is, have you got a lot of fonts that you are fetching because they're not custom loaded or they've not been preloaded? Have you got a lot of large images, large videos, large GIFs and stuff like that that are eating into your resources, lots of videos and stuff like that? So if you've got a lot of things and your page has got like 80 sections, like containers, right? Container, 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 and it goes on and on and on. How much DOM have you got? What's the size of your page? Go to Page Speed Insights, right? Run it, and it will tell you how much DOM there is. It will tell you how big, what's your page size. There are online tools that can do this for you as well, by the way, but Page Speed Insights is a pretty good one. So if you go and do that, that's going to give you your answer. But I know what you're saying about resources, but the bulk of it is going to be fetching fonts, loading images, videos, sliders. It could well be that you've got stuff on there that's eating into a lot of JavaScripting as well. So what you could do, here's another big tip, right? You open your page, you right click it and you go to page inspect, right? When you inspect the page, you get the you download the page. Sorry, let me say this correct. Okay. I'm probably not explaining this very well, so let me try and open up a page, right? Okay, so I am going to, let me just open up a page, something like, I'm just going to open up something, and then just so that you understand what I'm talking about. Sorry everyone, I just need to make sure I open a page that's not going to be any controversial or anything like that on it. Because sometimes when you have news items, people get a bit funny about stuff like that. Okay, right. So if you imagine, like that, and let me just get rid of everything I've got here as well. This will all make sense in a moment, right? So let's say you got your page, right? Doesn't matter where you are on the page, right? You right click it and then you go to view page source, right? You then download or you save it. Go to file, save as, right? Then go to ChatGPT or Grok or something like that and then just ask it and say, on this page, what is eating into my resources? Because you could have loads of JavaScript on here as well. And your JavaScript could actually be down to plugins. It could be to a code snippet. It could be to loads of things that you've loaded on your page. So what you got to do is think about that kind of stuff, right? You do that and you'll be pretty fine and you'll be pretty okay. So for anyone who's just missed and jumped onto the live chat now, don't forget to smash the like button. But tomorrow we have version 3 of the WebP converter coming out, but it's now been renamed to the Pix. And I've gone and spelt it wrong. How stupid is that? It's now known as the Pix Refiner because it now handles WebP and AVIF as well. And I've tested it immensely. It was actually kind of ready Saturday morning. And then I spent, about 7-8 hours on Saturday. And then about 6 hours, I would say, on Sunday. Again, testing. And it's now at the point where, it can go live now. It's tougher. It's more robust. It handles errors better as well. There's a rollback feature, like I said, to protect you. You can export. I've made sure in the notes, I really drum home that you need to get backups in. No props, friendly girl. I mean, I do want to address the backups though, okay? Because this has pissed me off a lot. Okay, the whole backups thing has really pissed me off, okay? So I'm now going to just ask a few questions here, okay? And I hope you're all going to be flexible enough to answer it, okay? How many of you have a robust backup system and you know how to restore if you had a problem? Exactly, Phantom Crane. You can now say, rather than WebP, I want to go for AVIF. You can even disable auto conversion when you upload. You can export your entire media library as a zipped file. You can preserve the originals. You can even, it will automatically roll back per image. If an image fails, it rolls it back. So you don't lose it. You don't lose what you originally had. And it's even better at fixing the media URLs. For your post, your product, your thumbnails, all of this shit. Loads of shit. Now, when it comes to backups, how many of you have a robust system? I'll tell you what my backup system is, right? I obviously have the SiteGround daily backup. Great. But I also have the all-in-one WP migration, right? Which I can do anytime I want. On top of that, I have the auto all-in-one WP migration as well. And what that does is every day at 5 a.m., it downloads a copy and shoves it over to my OneDrive. and it only keeps the latest 3 days. So every day I've got SiteGround, right? On top of that, I've got my daily 5 a.m. all-in-one WP migration, which sends it to my OneDrive, the entire download. And then when I am adding in a new code snippet or a new plugin, or I'm doing some testing, or I'm doing some changes, I actually take a manual one with all-in-one at that point in time, right before I do my whatever change I'm doing. That's what I do. But there's a lot of people out there that don't. And some people have said, oh, I tried the snippet and it messed this up or it messed that up. The majority of people have come back to me. The majority have come back and said, this is amazing. I've done it. I've used it. Amazing. I've had people sending me spreadsheets showing me how much they saved over all of their websites. They're just blown away, right? There are some people that are not taking backups, or what they're using is Updraft. Here's the problem. Updraft, I have never been fully convinced it's brilliant. I've always found there's bits of issues here and there. Secondly, if you are using Bluehost, Bluehost will charge you to restore backups. So some people have said, oh, I got Bluehost, but now they're saying I've got to pay. That's not fair. That's not my fucking problem. If you, as a web designer or a developer, has not investigated the ease and how you would restore your website, that's on you. That your clients will expect you to know what to do. You can't turn around and say, oh, sorry, it's a third-party host provider. No, if a client pays you a maintenance or a care package, you need to get your fucking act together and sort out how to restore. Just like some people are on SiteGround, the basic one, but even then, if you're trying to restore, SiteGround has some limitations unless you're on the middle or the premium package. So you need to check this out. And I've made that clear in the video that comes out tomorrow in a much nicer way. In the live chat, I don't hold back. In the proper videos, the official videos, I try to be more professional. But this is massively important, all right? So don't just rely on Updraft. Don't rely on your Bluehost or your GoDaddy backups and whatever. Even though I have SiteGround, and the SiteGround backup has never failed me, or my clients that are using it as well. It has never failed me. But even then, I got all-in-one that I can do whenever I want, manually whenever I want, right? I can do as many as I want. I've got the unlimited extension, so I can upload. I'm not limited to the size. I can do what the hell I want. But then I also have the 5 a.m. daily automatic. I don't have to even be there. It automatically takes a backup and shoves it over to OneDrive, and it only ever keeps the latest 3 days, right? You got to be safe. You've got to be secure. Any thoughts on Duplicator? Duplicator's fine. You know, I mean, I don't really use it, but I haven't heard any issues about it. I mean, Phantom uses all-in-one for milestone backups and also run auto backups through your hosting. Exactly, that's what you need to do. Viviana's got Updraft Plus. Save it on Google Drive and external drive and use the plugin to upload. Some people have good and bad experiences with Updraft, Viviana, but if you're okay with it, stick with it. Chris, yes, a very robust backup using multiple options as all-in-one migration, WP Vivid Pro, web host. Exactly. What I don't like is, even I was guilty of this many years ago, is your site provider host would say, yeah, we do daily backups. And you instantly think, oh, that's okay. That's cool. Until you realize sometimes how maybe it wasn't the full files and database. Maybe you're reliant on them. Because here's the other thing, right? If your host provider takes a daily backup, what if the host provider goes down? What if there's an issue on their end? You're assuming that they are fully okay. Even host providers go down. Even they will fuck up sometimes, right? And it's always good to have multiple backups, especially for your clients. Believe me, if you've ever said to your client, we're going to store your backups for you, but you're not really, because you're just reliant on Bluehost or whoever, and then they muck up, your client ain't going to care for your excuses. They are not going to care like that you're going to, do everything you can. No, you say to your client, it's like SSL certificate, right? How many times do web developers and designers go, yeah, and we'll sort out your SSL? In fact, you're not. What you're doing is you're relying on the host provider. So what if the host provider gets it wrong? You can't go back to the client and go, oh, sorry. Ooh, sorry. It's like if you say you're going to provide email for them as part of, say, SiteGround or something like that, and then the emails don't go. As a client, you said you would handle it. So be damn sure. And that's actually the reason why a lot of my legacy clients, I've been offloading them. So another one, one of my legacy clients from 7 years ago finally left me this week. And I'm not upset because I've been slowly wanting to get them away anyway. Not because they ask for a lot of work, because the work is always here and there. And they always pay. And when we've upped our prices, they've agreed to it because of inflation or whatever. Or, COVID, cost of living, or they've agreed to it. But they were one of those clients when we first put them on our hosting. We said, we will provide your email. We'll ensure this happens. And you know what? I really am done with the recurring income model based on care plans. I don't care about that. I really don't. I don't mind recurring income, but not on care plans. For me, it's always about you want us to do extra work for you, you then pay. I don't like to be bound anymore now by this. Yeah, you pay this and we'll do 3 minor changes or 2 major changes, or we'll look after this and we'll update your plugins. WP Remote is really good. InstaWP, WP, all of these different packages you can use to update websites. But even then, a lot of you got to put attention into it, don't you? Even though you can use these tools to update 20 websites, let's just say, and you can go, right, Elementor is okay, let's just do it. Boom. Oh, hello, let's just do it. Boom. WooCommerce, let's just do it. You still have to just go dip back in and check, don't you? And I'm seriously done with that. I really am. I just have no excitement. And it bores me to death. And then when you do find an issue, you go, well, why is that site affected and these 8 aren't? Because the structure and plugins we're using are very similar. And then you're literally like this going, well, what happened there? Why did that suddenly break? Why did I update Grid Builder on these 5 websites and one of them had a critical error? And you sit there going, they're practically the same. What's going on here? So I'm just, I just don't care for it. And it means that you lose recurring income. But you know what? The amount of time you waste on it, in my opinion, that's what I call it. The amount of time I lose on checking and all of that, it takes away the fun. I want to build, right? I just want to build. And if there is a problem later on for the user, they know where to find me, or they can go elsewhere. Friendly girl, will I use Updraft Plus Premium? Nearly all websites, and they have automatic backups daily and before every single update. They also incremental backups so the storage doesn't blow. There you go. And if it's working, it's working. That's the main thing. Smiley Jack, my hate towards Avada Builder only grows. Yeah, you see, this is why I don't recommend to people using pre-built themes and templates, because unless you know it's being actively used by a lot of people, or there's a lot of videos or documentation out there, you can get stuck. So when I was looking at directory plugins and themes and all of that shit, I went through about 11, 12 different types, right? Geodirectory, Listing Pro, My Listing, which is my preferred one. There were loads of different ones, and I was going through them. And I found that there was only like 4 or 5. Geodirectory was one, My Listing, Listing Pro, and a couple of others that had some tutorials. But the ones that kept jumping out were My Listing, mainly because of what you could do. Also, there was a Facebook group for it, and I could see there were a lot of active users asking questions, helping people out. They were, getting places. There weren't that many detailed videos, but there were videos. So what I then did was I was like, well, I feel safer doing that. I've seen people who have gone on to like Envato or, Theme Forest or wherever they go these days, and they've bought a theme and they install it and they want to change something. And then they go to the global Elementor forum group and go, how do I change this? How do I do this? And they think someone is going to answer them. And they don't like it when someone does not answer them. Or when someone goes, why did you use that? You should have just used hello. What was the benefit? What were you really after? Why did you go for that theme? And people don't often like to be questioned about it. That's pretty clear. But they expect someone to know. When you buy a very niche or even use a very niche plugin or a theme or a template, don't expect, amazing answers for questions. If it's really, really obvious, some people will help you. But if not, like some people are gone, like, I've got this theme. No. My website slider carousel is not working. And then the next question is, well, what do you mean it's not working? And then they go on to a bit detail. And then you kind of go, well, that should work. Are you using a theme? Oh, yeah, I'm using da-da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, have you asked the developers? Yeah, I have. They've not answered. Right. So the developers have not answered your fucking question. You've gone to the support forum and it's dead because no one is there. And you think we are going to know the answer. How can we help you? We can't help you unless we are logged into your website. You have to pay for that, and they don't often want to pay for help. Or we go and buy the theme ourselves. Well, I ain't going to do that either. Or you give me a copy of the theme. Well, then I need to spend time recreating what you've done, and that takes time, and we still might not get anywhere, and you still ain't going to pay for my time. And there's this little narrow-mindedness, I would say. So I would always say, be careful of niche or specific themes, because once you get stuck often. Viviana, I tried to implement a care plan and realized that I just couldn't. It does tie you up and you end up doing way. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. And I just kind of like, I always found it frustrating because here's right. So I'm going to show you what I mean, okay, with so let's say, right, okay, this is your day, okay? And you have decided that you are going to do these 5 things, right? You're going to do 5 things. Now, at any point of time, something unexpected could happen. So you've done the first 2 things, and then somewhere here, something unexpected happens. It could be a plugin update. You could either update now, but I would recommend you wait. You could have a new client. This is not very good, is it? Let me try and make this clearer. So you could have a new client. Oh, is it gone off the screen? It's gone off the screen, isn't it? Let me just delete this now. This is stupid what I've just done. So we have our day. We'll have 1, 2, and 3, right? Okay, so you've done that task, and now you're about to do task number 3. And then over here, you get like stuff come in that you was not expected. If it is a new client and they want to know the cost or a proposal or something like that, you can, either deal with it there or deal with it when you got a bit of free time or later on. But those kind of things, you don't mind, right? You don't mind. Or you get an existing client as part of your care plan, right? And now they've got stuff they need you to do. And now you've got to either fit it into what you were going to do today or tomorrow, or rearrange things, or go back to them. Or they contact you and they're not happy because the page ain't working, or the page is really slow, or their shop purchases aren't going through, or they know they had emails sent but they haven't received the emails, or they've been told that they've got malware or they've been told that, you know, like the images have gone funny or fuzzy, or people are buying stuff, but the downloads are corrupted, or there's all this load of shit and things that could happen. And now all of a sudden, this is what you wanted to achieve today, but now you have to stop and address this. Now, life is full of unexpected things, right? Happens on a daily basis. Life is not perfect. But when something happens in your life, unless you have a car crash or something major like, you know, like Armageddon happens, right? You can almost deal with it, okay? When it's a client who's paid for you to, you know, as like for your time, for minor revisions or even a major, you have to, you suddenly go from like, I know what I'm doing to now, right, now I need to do this. I need to handle this. And I got fed up of it. I just got fed up of it because sometimes you could lose 2 days because for some stupid reason, 4 clients on the same day all wanted different stuff. And some of them are more urgent than others. And you have to now work out your time of what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, how you're going to do it maybe. Is it feasible? Is someone asking for too much beyond what you class as minor? Is it major? Is it even bigger than major? And then that's why you have to suddenly, yeah, you have to change your phone number. That's not a bad idea. But you now are dealing with things that sometimes you can't always put on. What if 3 of your clients contact you right now and they all say our website's gone down? And you know, what are you going to do? Their website's gone down. 2 of them are e-commerce. 2 of them have a lot of visitors because of marketing. They have a lot of sales and the website's gone down. What are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? Or the websites went down. Let's say you live in the UK and one of your clients was in Australia and one of them was in California. So you were asleep and you had no idea that the California website's gone down, the Australia website's gone down as well. And you get up and you get an email. And there was a late night email from California. And there was like a very late or another late night email from Australia. What are you going to do? You can't say to them, "Oh, sorry, I've got other stuff planned. I'll get back to you." Fuck no. You need to sort them out. And then you'll contact your host provider. Oh, what's going on? Maybe there's a host provider issue. You can relay that to the client. Client is going to now want to know, well, have I lost anything? You're going to go, no, don't worry. We got your backups. We got all of this shit. You know, don't worry, mate. Well, you're sorted and all that. But what if the host provider goes, oh, what if it's not the host provider? What if it's something else? And now your entire day is fucked up, right? And that is why I started to get sick of dealing with legacy clients about 2 years ago. And slowly, I've in a nice way been pushing them away to go elsewhere and work with other people because we've got other stuff on. And when they do want us to do stuff for them, I say to them, you're going to have to pay the same prices that anyone new would pay. And they don't like it. But then it's like, look, I'll help you to migrate to somewhere else. Smiley Jack says, oh no, sorry, I read what you meant. Yeah. Smiley Jack says, when you change your phone number, the client gets notified about the new number. Yeah, well, you know. So who here actually loves doing care plans? And not just because of the recurring income. Who actually enjoys care plans, maintenance packages? There's nothing wrong with it. You know, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it if you want to do it. But who does it? Sam does. Sam, elaborate. Tell us more about why you like it. So Sam loves doing care plans, right? Tell us more about why you love doing care plans, Sam. It's okay to as well. You know, it is totally okay. But what is it about the care plans that you love? Is it the recurring income? Is it because there's not that many changes? Is it because it keeps you busy? Is it because, I mean, obviously, the big magnet for care plans is they will come back to you if they want something big or major. It can also, referrals as well, stuff like that. You can also keep mail shotting them with new features, new stuff you could do for them. If they want you to do it, you can charge for it. So there's benefits to it. Video boy, how did you create the scrolling graphic header from your Learn website? The scrolling graphic header. The scrolling graphic header. Which graphic header? I haven't got a scrolling graphic header. Hold on, I might do now. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm now going to jump over to my website. The scrolling header. Which bit do you mean? I'm looking at it and I'm not sure. Which bit do you mean on the scrolling header? On my Learn? Do you mean this bit over here? That's just a motion effect. Yeah, this is motion effect there. Do you mean that? Which bit do you mean? I'm scrolling down, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure which bit you mean. Can you clarify that? Just so I know what we're talking about. Sam, you didn't answer the question, mate. Why do you like recurring, why do you like care and maintenance packages? And I don't mean for you, I mean for your clients kind of thing, So if anyone here has just jumped on and you weren't aware, version 3 of the WebP converter comes out tomorrow. It's now been renamed to Pix Refiner. I do believe that that's it for me in terms of working anymore on it. I think it's as good as it needs to be, in my opinion. Unless I am informed of a flaw or an issue with it. Because I think I've gone to the nth degree now with making it as robust as I can, with rollbacks and stuff like that and stopping critical failures and anything. So unless someone specifically tells me you need to just tweak this to make it even better, I don't think I'm going to go beyond version 3. I'm not going to work on a version 4 unless something drastic changes that is needed. But I think version 3 is pretty damn good in what it does, especially with the testing. But WebP doesn't refine. No, it's refiner. So like if you think of you're changing something, in a way. You're taking something, like if you imagine you take I don't know, steel or iron, right? And you heat it up in a refiner, right? Your high temperature, and then you melt it, right? It's still the same kind of thing, right? So I'm using the word refiner as in you're refining it. So, you might be changing the size, changing the format, AVIF. You can even go from PNG straight to AVIF, or you can go from WebP to AVIF and it will do that conversion for you. It is dependent, though, on what your GD and Imagic libraries, what version they are and how they operate, and if your server allows you HT access, you might need to go and check with them. I would like to think that 99% of host providers aren't going to have an issue. There's bound to be someone who runs this and go, oh, AVIF didn't work for me. Well, fucking go and ask your host provider, right? I've stuck it in the notes, which are at the bottom of the converter tool, right at the bottom. You need to go and check. Some people were whinging and complaining about, oh, it didn't work for me. And I'm like, well, did you check with your host provider? No, well, go check with your host provider, okay? I can't, because anyone that has a problem with it is probably going to have a problem with any WebP converter plugin they use on their website. I bet they'll have a similar issue. Sam Turner says it's great fun and we get paid for doing it. That's one of the benefits to having care and maintenance packages. Video boy, I saw it yesterday on the video I was updating beneath your noses. Oh, I'm not sure now. I'll have to go back and double check. I mean, I'm not sure. What you need to do, video boy, right, is can you tell me at what point in the video, what minute was it in the video? If you tell me what minute it was, I'll quickly put the video on screen over here somewhere, and I'll quickly have a look at it. Can you quickly look back at that video, if you can, and tell me what minute it was? Hey, Gary, visual media. How's the concrete jungle? And I hope you're doing okay. It's really weird weather we've got. The sun is out. If you stand outside, right, you can really feel the sun. But every now and again, you get this real bitter chill just hit you. So you go out in a t-shirt, you can feel the sun, and then a bitter chill, just like it shrills. Like it just like pierces your skin like bitter daggers, just corrosively attacking my goosebumps on my arm and stuff. Well, Gary, I'm doing okay. I am tired. I am really tired. I mean, I think a lot of people have a view or an impression of me, especially from the live chats or the videos or social media, but I don't think a lot of people realize, like every time I say I'm fine, I'm not being honest with myself. And I sometimes feel like I need to do a video one day where I really pour my heart out. But my son Raheem, he's diagnosed with ADHD, all right, and every night is oh, I don't want to go into it now. I don't want to go into now, but it's not good. Every night, you know, I could almost say from 6 to 9 until he goes to sleep. It ain't good. It's like you know, I love him, he loves me, and all of that. You know, we're a good family, right? But his anger, I mean, I don't want to go into it, right? But the amount of things he's broken, damaged in the house that I have to replace and repair, and it's just yeah, there's a lot going on, you know. So the videos, the web agency, talking to people, doing things, sometimes gives me, in a weird way, that busyness takes me away from some of the stress I am carrying at the moment on my shoulders and back and everything. And I can honestly say, as a parent, I regret getting my son an iPhone. You know, I regret letting him watch YouTube videos and stuff when he was younger, even though they were like kiddie videos, but I still regret it. There's so many things I do regret. And I now feel like I should have been one of those parents who was like, nope, you're not going to have an iPad. You're not going to have an iPhone. You know, you can only play PlayStation 5 at this time. No, you can't go out and play with your friends at certain, you know, I just wish I had been more stricter on some aspects, because the complications that I now have with him and with his school and other things I don't want to go into is numbing, because I can honestly say that by the time I get to 8 p.m. sometimes I am done. My energy levels have sunk. You know, he might be back in his room now playing on his computer or something like that. We've had a big argument, whatever, and I am literally sometimes with the TV on and I'm just sat there like I don't even know what I'm processing, because I'm just literally dead. My brain is dead. I just can't take any more. But that's something I'm going to go into another time, you know, if people want to really know or care. Right, Video Boy has said there's a video about 33 seconds in. So you know what? We're going to go over and have a look. Right, okay, here we go. So we are just going to try and zoom in. Why is this not zooming in? Okay, it's not zooming in for some silly reason. Right. So it's this video, and about 33 seconds in, I'm just going to get rid of the sound. So 33 seconds in somewhere. Oh, you mean this? You mean the scroll effect? Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. So that actually was, I think it's called auto scroll. I think it was called auto scroll or something like that. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I've got to find it now myself. Image scroll. There you go. Image scroll, or is this video over here? So if I'm correct, if I'm right, yeah, it's this one here. Image scroll. So image scroll on hover. Oh no, hold on. Mine did it automatically, didn't it? Mine was doing it automatically. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Image scroll on hover. It's one of these videos. There's one of these videos here. I'll have to dig it out. But basically what you do is it just automates it. And what it does is I'll have to find it. It's on one of these videos. This is really bad, right? So I'm trying to find it. This is really bad. I should know which one it was. Auto scroll. It's not that one. Auto scroll image. No. Was it that one? I don't think it might be. No, it's this one. I think it's this one. So if let me just show you. Yeah, it's this one. It's this video here. So let me just get the link for you. Copy that. And that should hopefully sort you out. Okay. It's this one here. Cool. We finally got there. Right. Here's the video for you. Right. I've popped a link in there. There you go. Phew. Finally got it. Even I forget how to do things. And a lot of you think that when I put videos out there, they're for all of you. They're actually sometimes for me as well. So I can just jump back in. Thanks, media, for the hug. But it's complicated, right? Because I'm probably saying more than I should. But as of last week now, I'm taking my son to counseling. For him, I'm not in the room. It's just him and the counselor. It's all confidential, so I don't know what they talk about. And that's £50 a session, you know, and we did one last week, got another one this week, and it's probably going to be something that we do for a long time. And that costs money, right? It's not cheap, you know, but if I can do something to help him out, hopefully it will help us all out as well. But it's complicated. It's very complicated. But so anyone out there that thinks, oh, Imran's all right. Yeah, he's pretty happy. He's pretty chuffed. He's always having a laugh, effing and blinding and doing stuff and creating videos. It ain't. And Sundays, because I'm alone at home with him because my wife goes work, so I'm looking after him and everything. It can be quite tumultuous. It can be quite oh man, it's sometimes it's just not nice. I try my best not to tell him off or to shout at him, and and I'm saying a lot here, but it's like non-stop from 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. sometimes with just conflict. Basically, it's conflict, and I've tried every trick, everything in the book to try and manage how I react, try and help him out, make him feel more confident, understand that we're not his enemy, we're trying to help him out. But I can already see the signs that worry me about the future for him, and I do worry a lot about his mindset and stuff like that. Jeff says, anyone know how to get Elemental's post widget to replace read more with read about and the post type? Yes, I think I did a video on that as well. I think I've got a video on that. I'm sure I have. Hold on. I think I've got a video on that, Jeff. It's either not released yet. Let me just double check. Tooltip, free shipping. Did you know? I'm sure I've got a video on that. There is. I've got a video. Basically, you need to inspect it, and you can change the wording on it. Here's my tip, Jeff, right? There is a way to do it, right? Just ask your question, right, in ChatGPT. In fact, I'll quickly do it now, right? I'm just going to take your question, right? So I'm going to try and let me just quickly ask ChatGPT, because it is something you can do. And I read more I've read about than the post title. So let me just quickly ask ChatGPT, and it's now pumping it out. So look, just to show you, okay. And this is something I really do want to kind of stress out quite a bit, maybe to some people, is you do know, right, that you can just ask your question to ChatGPT and it's going to pump it out for you. So look, this is kind of giving you what you need to do, right? I'm not going to paste this here, but just jump into ChatGPT. Something I've stressed about many, many times, and this is not a criticism, Jeff, but I don't quite get why people don't do that in the first place. So Jeff, ask your question there, and it will give you something. Please take a backup, though, before you chuck a code snippet into your website. No matter how simple and small the code snippet is, it could break stuff, right? So take a backup, not just a backup with your host provider, all in one WP migration. Go and do that. Take a backup. Friendly girl, thanks for that. I was waiting to come on to you a bit. I saw it, but I thought I'd just wait. You know, I'm trying to I'm trying as best as I can, but it's really taxing, you know, physically, mentally. I feel sometimes just broke sometimes. And I'm not a perfect dad. I'm not saying I am at all, but I just worry that if he doesn't start to understand social cues and how he behaves, you know, and he doesn't do anything wrong. Here's the thing, right? He's not doing anything illegal, anything immoral, anything that would make you go, oh, what is he doing? No, none of that. But it's the way he reacts to social cues, the way he sometimes talks, the way he sometimes, the facial expressions he pulls sometimes the things he says to us that can be quite hurtful. I just worry that one day he's going to do that outside, at school, at college, at work, to a stranger. And one day when he does that, he won't get away with it. And he will get battered. He will get, you know, hated. People might not want to be his friend. People might not want to know him. So as a dad, I'm trying to nurture and look after him, because I don't want him. I don't want him to, you know, I just don't want him to regret all the choices and options the doors that could get closed for him if you're not careful. I just don't want him to go down, because I think the world now is way more judgmental than it ever was, right? You know, now, right? You know, it's not even about how you look or how you talk or behave. It's so many things now, right? People just, you know, just anything that if people want to jump on you for even the smallest thing, they will. And a lot of that's down to social media. Anyway, just coming in, Russell Barkley. I have not seen that channel. I might go and have a look at that about ADHD. Thanks for that. Thanks, Dennis, for your kind words there. I'm not the best dad. Okay, I am not. I have zero tolerance, because I have found, right, that sometimes, like, hey, Paul, hope you're right, mate. I have found that I've had to start applying zero tolerance with him now if he misbehaves, because I used to always, like, forgive, or, like, I might say, right, you're grounded. Then an hour later, I'll be like, no, it's okay. You can jump on your machine or anything like that. So, but I'm trying to be, I am finding that I'm having to be more stricter with him. So what were we talking about? What were we talking about? Yeah, so look, next time any one of you has a question, right? Just go to ChatGPT. I mean, it doesn't even stop there with the question. When I was working on version 3 of the WebP converter tool, right, something didn't look right. And rather than writing down, right, oh, I know, Paul, Paul Raheem is he's not just pushing the buttons, mate. He's pulling them out. So I don't even know what buttons have been pushed anymore. So sometimes, like, you work on a website or you work on something, right, and something didn't look right. All I did was take a screenshot and load it into ChatGPT. I actually prefer to use Grok, by the way. I keep saying ChatGPT because a lot of people understand that, and it could be any AI tool. The minute I say Grok, some people have not fully understood or know what that is, especially if you don't use Twitter X. But I will just upload that, and I will say, the text is uneven. What do I need to do to change that? Where did I go wrong? And it just spits it out. So you could easily take a screenshot of like one of your pages or a section and go, my button doesn't look right. What have I done wrong? And it will usually chuck it out. Did you see the video I did last week where I got a full page of my learn.web squadron as an experiment to show you that it works? And I literally just uploaded it. And all I said was, how can I make this better to get people to buy the course? That's literally all I said. I should have expanded on it with who's your audience? What are your overall aims? Is there anything that you feel like could be done better? Is there anything you feel like you want to add in more of? You know, stuff like that, you know, the market, audience, and all of that. But it took a full page screenshot. You know, when you do a full page one with Google Chrome extensions, you can do that, or you can right click and there's other stuff you can do. With a line, which was how can we improve this to make this lead to more customer sales or whatever. And it chucked out loads. It literally was like, what's good? What's not so good? What could you do about it? Here's how you could reword some of the bits. Like, it literally started changing what the text was for my call to actions and my main headline. And I was like, what? All from a screenshot. So the ability for it to start doing that. And what I didn't do in the video, because I didn't think of it at the time, and I should have done, is then said, okay, thank you for that. Now can you chuck out a wireframe of a potentially better layout? And if I had asked it that, it would have done it. So a lot of people are like, they're creating like home pages or hero banners, and then they go to the Elemental forum or they go somewhere else and they throw a screenshot and they go, please review my website. And then they get like 100 opinions, good, bad, don't care, like it. What is this? Oh, this is brilliant. You know, all of this stuff, right? And it's so mixed. Why don't you just go and you ask AI? Because what the AI will do is, rather than saying your hero banner's not good, you know, oh, that's ugly. Oh, I don't like those colors or whatever. It's going to give you now meaningful info, the good, the bad, and the ugly, how to improve it. And then you can ask a further question. So you said my hero banner the headline should be X, but will that be enough? Or can you explain why you went for that? And then you get your answer and you go from there. It's like having your own marketing consultant advisor that's machine learned on a shitload of stuff. And it's all there for you. So I just think that a lot of people are missing a trick here with, they think AI is just for helping you to write a social media post that you can stick on LinkedIn or Twitter. I think a lot of people are still stuck in that mindset. Or they think that AI is only good for modifying an image. Because the trouble is, though, we see a lot of posts and stuff with regards to image manipulation and stuff like that, right? Or creating videos from images. But I think people need to hone in on the fact that I love it for coding. I love it for helping out with social media posting sometimes. I love it for analyzing images and stuff. I love it when do you know how many times someone has posted a question in the Web Squadron group? And I'm thinking about it, but I'm not entirely convinced I've got a good enough answer for them. I've got an idea and I stick it into Grok or ChatGPT and it chucks out an answer. And I'll read it. And if I agree and think, yeah, that's not a bad idea, I'll refine it rather than giving them a text load of crap so that they kind of now know what to do and where to go. And I always, when that happens, sort of go, if only the user had done that. And it's not a bad thing to stick on forums because other people can learn from the problem and how to solve it. But you could have helped yourself out, like instantly. You know, the time it took for you to write the question, post it, and then wait and wait and wait for an answer, because then you get desperate. You go, oh, I asked in Web Squadron, no one replied. Oh, I'll ask it in the Global Elemental group. Oh, shit, no one's replied. Oh, I'll ask it in WP Tuts as well. Shit, no one's replied. Oh, I better go and find some WordPress groups as well. Oh, WP Crafter, I'll go there and chuck it in over there as well. You start to ask, and then what happens is you get all these different answers, and now you're going, oh, crap, now I've got, this one said did this, and this one said do that, but they don't know that they said that because that was a different forum, right? And now you're trying to piece together what the best way was. Just go to fucking AI. And if it does say use a code snippet, you can be really clear. You can say, like I am. Sometimes I'm posing a problem and I will say to it, how do I do this? And I might say, yeah, I want it to only be a CSS solution. I don't want a code snippet. I want to keep it really simple. And if it says you can't do that with CSS, it's got to be a function. Fine. Sometimes it will be like, well, you could have done it in a code snippet or whatever, but you could also do it with a bit of CSS, or it will say you could drop in a bit of HTML and then here's the CSS and then here's the JavaScript as well. And then I might pop that in as a solution. But that's the sort of thing you really need to start thinking about. Right, I'm actually going to jump off in a moment because I think I've been live for 57 minutes now. Coming up to 58, I'm going to jump off in 2 minutes. So if anyone's got any burning questions they want to ask, throw it over here right now. I may not answer it or even consider it, but do throw it in. And keep an eye out because in, let me get my hours right now. In 7, no, that's wrong. I'm getting my hours wrong now. It's 3 o'clock now. So in, oh my God, I can't get my out in 9 hours. 9 hours? Is that right? Is 9 hours right? Yeah, 9 hours. I was literally going, what's the difference between 24 and 15? Yeah, in 9 hours, you will see version 3 of the Pix Refiner, which is actually the WebP converter, but I've now adapted it even better, even bigger, right? To now include AVIF, rollback, disable auto conversion, preserve the originals, and export your media as a zipped file, because there are plugins out there that do that. But this is all now bundled into one. The big thing I really want to stress, though, okay, because a lot of people have been asking, is that this is free. All right. There is no charge on it. I'm never going to monetize it. I'm not even going to ask for $1. No, I'm not doing none of that, okay? None of that's happening. It's a free code snippet for you to use, and I hope you have some fun. Before you're sold, read Desiderata. What is that? What is this? Desiderata. I'm now going to jump over to ChatGPT and say, what is Desiderata? Desiderata, what is that? What is that? Is that like So go. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm getting a summary of it. I quite like the summary you're giving. Yeah, that's not a bad one. All right, everyone, I'm going to jump off now. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully, I may see you tomorrow. Hopefully, maybe. Obviously, once version 3 is out, I'm sure there'll be some kickback somewhere from someone or something. But please, if you know how to make that code better, go and do it, or let me know if there's something I need to tweak or change so I can get that tweak or change into the version that everyone sees. If we end up having version 3.1 in 12 hours time, so be it, okay? But version 3 will be out in 9 hours. Take care, everyone. Sun will be home soon. Better get ready for it. Bye.